The reason we're asking about this is that economists have warned that increasing the state pension age will hit women harder. They argue that women will struggle more than men financially if the state pension age is raised because women are less likely to be at work in their late 50s and early 60s. The state pension age for women used to be 60 until 2010, but since it's risen to match the men's at 66. But over the next couple of years, the state pension will rise to 67. So should we lower the state pension age for women? Or do you think this would be unfair? We ought to keep it exactly the same for both sexes. We'll start with you on this one, Claire. What do you think?
I think, of course, we should. We really, really should. We shouldn't be working as long as men do. And we should be changing. It keeps, talking about the Overton window, it's closed. Everything seems to be getting increased, pushed out, pushed out, pushed out. Now, when I started working when I was like 20, that's like 33 years ago, you never think beyond, your next like club night or, your next night out or anything like that. But now I'm 53 and it's seriously thinking, gosh, I could take a lump sum when I'm 60. I thought I would get my state pension at age 60, as my grandmother did, as my mother did. But then you think, where is it? Now, one way around this might be to stop the triple lock in order to throw up more money. But the reality is we all pay into our SERPs, as it was, our national insurance contributions, which we all thought was going towards our state pension. Where has the money gone, right? Is it because we are living longer, in which case then the cost of living, the cost of extension of lives is obviously a brunt of a cost. But seriously, do we always have to be on equal par with men? You are normally fitter than us. You normally work longer than us in terms of longevity in years. And I think women really do deserve the break. We do an awful lot.
I'll bring Sam into this. Apparently, each time they delay paying the pension by a year, they put the age up, they save £6 billion. Simple as that. So it's a very easy way to save money. Just say, OK, instead of 66, we'll make it 67.
People are living longer. People are able to work for longer because people are generally healthier for longer as well. I would say that an issue that needs to be looked at is why women are not working for as long as men.
Because it's terribly hard to find jobs when you get over a certain age.
So it's the raw deal that women get at work. Often they've gone on maternity leave, they've had babies, they find it hard to get back into the workforce. Their contributions to national insurance or their pension have dropped off during those years.
Yeah. And also the sandwich generation, where so many women are leaving it longer to have children, and then they end up looking after their children and their parents at the same time. It's just incredibly difficult.
And of course, in work, there's a huge gender pay gap as well. I would say that these things need addressing more urgently, and then it might be less relevant that there are separate retirement ages or separate pension ages if women are getting a better deal in the workforce in the first place.
And let's just put in a word for the waspy women who just missed out completely and ended up in this dreadful situation and still haven't been compensated. They say they didn't hear and they didn't know, and no one told them, and they didn't realise, and they had made arrangements, and then suddenly the sands shifted. Poor things, and they're in this awful state. They haven't been compensated. That's because no one can afford to compensate them. What do you think, Terri?
Well, I think we pay into a fair system, and that fair system's supposed to give both men and women a portion of their adult life in retirement. Now, to say what you ladies have said, it's true, you get to a certain age and you can't find a job. But I think if you could, I think a lot of women would be really happy to have that equality with men. And I think by doing what we're discussing, I feel like we're going backwards a little bit. Do we want equality? Well, you can't pick and choose where you get it. So for me, I'm really happy. I'd be happily wheeled onto set in a Zimmer frame if I possibly could. I've no desire to retire. And a lot of my friends don't want to retire. I think we're forced into it.
I think it depends very much, doesn't it, on the job you've been doing. If you've been doing a physically demanding, exhausting job, you probably can't wait to retire. If you're doing a job you love and you can do it sitting down comfortably and someone brings you a cup of tea, it's totally different, isn't it?
But then you would still want to have your brain. Like my mother-in-law, she does lots of mental puzzles because women do want to keep their brain active. So yes, OK, you might not be able to do the physical job, but you could do a mental one. It's just we are in a society that is really ageist.
Well, that's one of the
and that's
main
the biggest
with this.
problem.
Absolutely. Well, the calls are coming in thick and fast on this one. Let's go straight to Pauline in Newcastle on time. Hi, Pauline. What do you reckon?
Hello. No, I don't agree that they should lower the age. I'm 80.
Yes.
I worked till I was 70 at one of the Newcastle hospitals. It was a very physically demanding job. I was lucky enough to get the pension, But, when you get your pension, it's not very much. And it's really hard to live in it. At the time, I think it was about £150 a week.
Yeah.
I now get £208 a week to live on, which still isn't very much. So the 10 years that I worked, I managed to put money away with it. I loved being a nurse and I loved working, and I gave it up at 70, really because all my friends and everything were saying, oh, you've done enough. But I would have quite happily gone on a little bit longer. And also men, the majority of men who do really physical work, like laying roads, scaffolders, roofers, it's going to be so hard for them to work till they're 67.
Yeah. Pauline, tell me about the years since you retired, because you say you did it because everyone told you to, not so much because you really wanted to. You loved your work, and obviously you were so much needed as a nurse. I mean, it's an exhausting job, but such a rewarding job in many, many ways, isn't it? How's it been since you retired? Have you enjoyed your retirement?
I have. I did a lay pastoral course, and I'm a lay pastoral person from our church. I take communion out. I visit people. I visit hospitals. Yeah. I also work at the food bank, and I'm associated. A couple of years ago, we went to Africa. I got involved with a charity in Africa, a school that we went to. We went to Japan last year. We're going to South America in November.
Blimey, it's all going on, Pauline. Cripes.
What a lifestyle.
Exhausted, wow, I'm exhausted just hearing about it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for ringing. Let's go to Julie in Dorset. Julie, do you think that the pension age should be earlier for women?
Yes, I do. And the reason why is a lot of women look after their elderly parents.
Yeah, true.
And I think that's very difficult, and especially if they're bed blocking and they're working. Well, you can't be in two places, can you? So, and then a lot of women are doing childcare because obviously both the parents have to work if they've got a mortgage. I just find it quite difficult.
Yes, yes. What's your own situation?
Well, my own situation at the moment is I'm not working. I'm actually not very well at the moment. I've had to sort of take some time out, but I did lose my husband. I gave up my job because my husband suddenly had cancer. No, didn't have any, it was very, very quick. He was basically diagnosed 21st of December, and by 16th of January 24,
I'm so sorry. Gosh, what a horrible shock for you. What a shame. I'm so sorry. That sounds dreadful. Listen, I wish you better, Julie. I'm sure you're not feeling that great, and I really appreciate you giving me a call when you're a bit under the weather. Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to Jane in Hampshire. Jane, how do you feel about this idea?
Well, first off, I'd like to say hello, Vanessa. I met you at Henlow Grange back in the late 80s.
Wow. I mean, I remember going there. That was a very, very long time ago. That was the place where my parents sent me to get me thinner. Didn't work. I think I stopped on the way home and had a couple of Twixes and a Mars, and that was it, Jane. Did you get any thinner?
We sneaked out to the pub just down the road.
Oh, God. Can't believe there's anyone who wants to tell that tale all these decades later, Jane. Oh, my gosh. Naming and shaming me there. Tell me what you think about the pension situation.
Well, I'm a WASPie, so they let us down really badly. And a lot of us were not informed that it was going to happen. So it was a big struggle financially for us. I don't believe in saying retirement age, just pension age, because I still work and I'm 72.
Do you mind telling us what you do, Jane, so we get some kind of picture of you?
Well, I work for Two Provision Contact Lens Company, and there's several different departments, but some of it's quite manual.
And do you feel you could carry on for years? Would you like to carry on for years? How do you feel about it all?
Well, I don't want to vegetate, and I've met so many of my friends that have retired that are bored, wish they hadn't, have no hobbies. Their husbands are still working, they're not. And even my brother said it's not all it's cracked up to be, and he's younger than me. So, and I think that there was a myth at one point that they thought retire the older generation so the younger generation could come in. But the younger generation don't seem to want to work these days.
Well, I mean, there are going to be lots who will object to that hugely, but some who feel you're absolutely right, they don't fancy working at all. Jane, thank you very much. Let's go to Ian in Hertfordshire. Do you think women should get the pension earlier than men, Ian?
No, not at all.
And why not?
No. Well, they're the same age as us.
So equality in all things, including that one?
Look, it's simple, really. You can't have it both ways. You know, a man, if he has a hard time and has children and has a pension, has a problem, and the same with a woman, if she's got a pension and got the children. It's all. Why does somebody have to be younger to get it? They've made a line in the sand, and basically at the end of the day, I don't see it's a choice if you want to. Some people unfortunately do have to work longer because their circumstances are different, and I do understand that.
I think the reason is because fewer and fewer women are still working post the age of 60. That's the reason why. And so therefore they're going to be earning less, they have less. And the point is that they might need to get their pensions earlier for that reason, because it's harder to get work when you're a woman over a certain age than it is when you're a man over a certain age. That's what this is all about. That's what it boils down to. Ian, thank you very much. Let's talk to Kat in Bristol. Kat, you've got your eyes on the prize of retirement.
Well, I'd like to think I had, but I've got another 10 years to go, and I'm struggling with menopause, and it's really, really hard working full time.
What do you do?
I work in childcare.
Did you see the programme yesterday with Dr. Ellie Cannon talking about HRT and the menopause?
No, I didn't, because I was at work yesterday.
Oh, right. Well, we did a whole special on the menopause. By the time I finished, I had such a hot flush. I wanted to go and stick my head in the freezer. I'm not joking. I had every symptom you could possibly. There were about 70 symptoms. I was getting them all while broadcasting live, Kat, so I know just what you mean. Are they making any accommodation for what you're going through at work at all?
A little bit, yes. But I'm obviously quite hard on myself, so I probably don't speak up as much as I need to. But certainly sort of trying to remember things to what I could remember. And you know, I don't want it to come across as though I'm any less of a person because I'm going through the menopause. You know, there's still so much stigma of, oh, she's going through the change, and she's hot again, and all of that sort of thing. And the symptoms are so real. I'm doing everything I can to look after myself.
I once had, Kat, a young male producer come in about 3/4 of the way through my radio show, which obviously was live, and say to me, did you know you've taken your cardigan on and off 36 times during the show? And I said, you could have fanned me with a palm frond instead of just sitting there counting the number of times I took my cardigan on and off, which doesn't help anything, for God's sake. You can't say that these days because of someone's mental health. You might be in trouble. So then I had to take it back, but I still am furious, as you can see.